What's probably the most common thing that you're constantly educating people on?
I would probably say one big thing is predators.
Okay.
I love our predators, our native predators that we have here in Georgia and across the U.S. So we're a big advocate on those. But snakes is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Explaining people what snake they're finding.
Mm-hmm.
If it's venomous or non-venomous snake.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say between snakes and foxes, coyotes,
Gotcha.
those kind of things.
Okay. I'm going to take you down a rabbit hole. No pun intended. So because a lot of people that listen to this podcast or follow us have either chickens or like backyard poultry, right? And I guess snakes right now will be a thing they're finding when they open up those chicken coops.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about snakes. How do we identify whether it's poisonous or non-poisonous?
So, here in Georgia, you can go by certain rules that don't necessarily work for other states.
Right.
Here in Georgia, typically a pointy headed, a certain shaped head versus a flat head.
Run.
Exactly. You're going to have a more of a pointy headed shape. This could be more of a venomous snake.
Mm-hmm.
We do have certain snakes, here in Georgia, it's usually more in the South. We do have coral snakes.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some snakes that don't fit those particular descriptions.
Gotcha.
But in most cases, the most venomous species that people are coming across are going to be copperheads,
mm-hmm.
cottonmouths, and sometimes rattlesnakes.
Okay.
Not necessarily towards the city, but, down south,
mm-hmm.
out west, where I'm originally from, there's definitely ones that pop up. But the biggest thing is we have what's known as a DeKay's brown snake.
Okay.
It's a very small snake.
Yeah.
We get a lot of calls around this time of year that, we found a copperhead.
Uh-huh.
We're scared, we're worried. And when we go out there, it's actually a DeKay's brown snake.
Okay.
And so DeKay's brown snake, they're great at eating insects, going after insects. And so, so when we go out there, we're like, oh, that's just a DeKay's brown snake,
mm-hmm.
nothing to be scared of,
mm-hmm.
And it calms people's nerves and whatnot down a whole lot. But they typically are going to have more of a slender and shaped head. And when it comes to a baby copperhead,
mm-hmm.
if you were to come across an actual baby copperhead, first of all, they're not actually being birthed until late summer.
Okay.
So early spring, you're not going to find a baby copperhead.
Okay.
But they will usually have a light yellow to green tip tail.
Okay. So that's where the rattler's coming in at.
Well, so it's not necessarily a rattler on the copperhead.
Right.
But they will use it like a rattlesnake. Mm-hmm. And it's said that they actually use that as a lure.
Oh, okay.
To lure different insects and different prey. Okay. And then, of course, usually about a year to 2 years, that goes away. And it's just all the same Hershey kiss kind of pattern mm-hmm. that goes down the copperhead. So that's one indicator we like to pass along, to kind of help ease people's fear that, hey, this isn't a copperhead, but this is what you should look out for if you find one. And late summer, copperheads also give live birth. So you have snakes that lay eggs, and so you have snakes that lay eggs, and you have snakes that will actually give live birth. Okay. So they have birth, and the snakes come out as snakes soon as they lay them. And like I said, that usually happens late summer. But right now during spring, we have a lot of them mating. Okay. And rat snakes, mm-hmm. king snakes, rat snakes. It's very common to go in somewhere and see them in a big ball. Yeah. And so that's what's going on in those situations that they're mating. And they will pick an area where they've got a good food source nearby. Okay. So a lot of people find them in chicken coops. Yep. Just found one.
Check out more information on our animal rescue, youth program, and podcast on our website,